Go on with. Welcome to the live. You know, say some things go down. When me never did catch a big thing I go on, you know. Marlon Malahoo for is Lulu. Yo, Marlon Malahoo, like seriously. Yo, Marky G have modern auto blows and skirt. You have lost your man. You have lost your mind.
Bluetooth mode.
You have lost your mind. You understand what I'm saying? Marley Malahoo Fourth has lost her whole entire mind. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Usually I'm not gonna live them time, but due to how today, I kinda do one live. I'm see so much things I need to talk about, and tomorrow debate day. Due to how tomorrow debate day, I just want to get them a thing of me, off of my cranium. Yeah, in real life, you see me? Yeah, so. Well, go on, people. Well, go on, big up on yourself. Thanks for being here. We have to address a couple things because I swear nobody can tell me say Daryl Vaz and no AI that me hear. Daryl, I walk on. No, sir. Me I watch Andrew earlier tonight and me I say wait, I walk on sir. How it really take place? Me I say no man, this serious. Who is here, people? Tell me where you are. Where are you watching from? All right. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Zane. What a manifesto light. Nice. People tap up the screen. So right there, so you see like button or symbol, you just press that and then you can see how if you hit the like button here. Yeah man. Or you can just double tap the screen like so. Yeah man. Yeah man. In our real life. Alright, go to the juice. The juice of the matter. The juice of the matter. The juice of the matter. Alright, let me turn on that. We don't want too much noise. Yeah. Let me go to the substantive situation. No, I don't want to talk about that. The debate straight and clean. Straight and clean. PNP when the debate hands down, we can't really, you can't really go around that in my opinion, isn't it? But let's go to Fayval Williams. Velma, what's up, Velma? Fayval Williams look like, I don't know what's going on with her at all, brother. Something wrong with Favy. Look where Favy I say.
But Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you will have a clear winner tomorrow when Peter Bunting, Keisha Anderson, and Julian Robinson. And you know when you know that they're going to win. When you hear Fayval respond,
No, we need to hear it.
when you hear Fayval
We need
response
to
in
hear
Amobia
it.
last
We
night.
need to hear it.
When you hear her response in
No,
Amobia last
no, we're
night.
not here,
They
sir.
finally let her out. Who let the dogs out? But she's not.
No, Fayval. You know, I don't even want to be disrespectful. I'm trying my best to respect my elders, but Fayval, you know, she said, JLP narrator, them don't rate her. Them don't rate her. There's a finance debate, and them bring Christopher Tufton for your team. Christopher Tufton, them don't rate your Fayval. Miss Fayval Williams, respectfully, the Jamaica Labour Party don't rate you. Them deal with you bad. Me not why not take them abuse there? Like, where's your self-respect? Honestly, me just say, my mother couldn't no, it couldn't happen. No, them couldn't do my mother so. I are supposed to be grandmother. You're a big woman. Oh, you make the people deal with this a Fayval. No, them take off one clone for you, it bad. And the way oh you're allowing them to abuse you as a clown, you can't really tell nobody self respect you. You get what me I say? But me I go try my best not to disrespect you. Because you're a woman. But you see, because you're deep on the side evil, you know, it's kinda hard if you have like, you know what I mean? But me I go try still. Listen to Fayval.
A dog, she's a puss. Who let the puss out? She
Who
says
let
she's anti-Fayval.
who let the puss out? Meow, 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 meow. Who let the puss out?
Listen to what anti-Fayval said, Jamaica. Listen to
Yo.
this.
And started shouting, anti-Fayval, anti-Fayval, and me buy one Pro Box, and money me I make now, and so thank you, anti-Fayval.
Me buy one Pro box, thank you, anti-Fayval. Fayval Williams, who buy one Pro box since you come up with your that argument? Like seriously, me tired of foolishness. No, me understand say a silly season, but we need to get serious. This is about the state of our country. This is about how we move forward, how we grow. Fayval, how people receive this? This is not even cute. Anti-Fayval, me buy a Pro box. I make enough money now. Oh yeah, I make enough money. When the police them attacks the people them have Pro box on the road and them something there. Think everybody will have Pro box, them thinks you're a taxi man. So you know it go. Them I get taxed. You know what I mean? Velma said that tweet of you. Yo, no, me I say, no, Fayval, Miss Fayval Williams, Mrs. Fayval Williams, listen. Stop allowing them to disrespect you. Stop allowing them to take you for a clown. I'm not even sure about your capacity as a finance minister, to be honest with you, because some of the things that you say, me really have a question, and I'm not a savant. I myself is not a savant. But when you say things like, oh, there's no, like, you suggested that there's one way to run the economy. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, that's not true. I'm like, yo, that can't be true. There's no way there's one way to. So every government have to come in and put the money into the programs that the other government. Why would they have a manifesto? You suggested that. So it made me look upon it like, yo, what is wrong with this lady? Is this lady just trying to look like she lost her mind? You know, like, what is she trying to achieve? I don't get it. It bothers me. It bothers me. It really bothers me. How do I change my my display settings? It's kind of dark. View page source. How do I do that? Let me see. I'ma figure it out. But in the meantime, let's go.
Play that again, producer and Bolo.
I started shouting, anti-Fayval, and me buy one Pro box, and money me I make now, and so thank you, anti-Fayval.
Ball out! Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there.
Exactly.
Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief.
Exactly.
Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Anti-Fayval, producer, I get the Pro box. Anti-Fayval.
I started shouting, anti-Fayval, and me buy one Pro box, and money me I make now, and so thank you, anti-Fayval.
What can go so? You know, Jamaica, when I come to the reality, these people have no shame.
No shame.
This woman operates like a clown.
Yeah, man.
Can you imagine anti-Fayval in the debate too?
Like how them take money out for fool when him was the Minister of Finance and go around and give Nigel Clark a lick out and vice box and mash him up. Yo.
Can you imagine Jamaica anti-Fayval in the debates tomorrow?
It's gonna be wild.
Mr. Marsh, Lord Jesus. Hello, Mr. Marsh, good night.
Good night. What Fayval must do, you see? Fayval, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Fayval must allow me to call her an idiot. She must not open her mouth and prove it. because Billy Rock and nonsense that.
Damn.
But back to Pernell Charles Jr., right? Him lose because him lie. Him say savings from the JUTC, then take by the 100 school bus and a new bus. Where the new bus them there, sir? Where the new school bus them there?
They're being retrofitted.
The new school bus. You can get a debate and tell such a blatant lie. And the Prime Minister continue to be lie.
Yes.
See him like Kamina. Because they're talking about when they come with the 1.5, the PNP said it could not be done. That's not what the PNP said, you know. The PNP said it can't done without any new tax.
Yes.
And they did that to tax the Jamaican people 32 billion in order to finance it. So they must go around with them lie because people out here know and people understand. So long as Damien said, one love gone last night.
Yes.
Tomorrow night at 2 love.
Yes.
Because Christopher Tufton, well, it's nice that them not put him in a hell. It's funny debate because he don't know nothing about hell. Tell the people to put the X squarely beside the head.
All right, Mashi. All right, no problem. And you know the funny thing? School is less than 1 week away, producer. Are the buses ready?
Yeah, good question.
School is 1 week away. Are the buses ready?
Good question.
Are the school buses ready? School is 1 week away. Hello, caller. Good night.
Good night. You know what? Then take anti-Fayval for your clown.
Them take anti-Fayval for your clown. All right.
Yeah.
But you know that the Lord is confusing them, Jamaica. When you know your Daryl boss vote them out. When you know your Daryl boss vote them out.
No, this was the highlight of the night.
Listen to what I say to you tonight. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out.
No, Daryl. Mr. Daryl Vaz, what do you mean? Who in a power? Somebody please explain to me. Who is in power? Isn't it the JLP? So why is a JLP member saying vote them out? Look at God. Every tongue shall confess.
When you hear Daryl boss vote them out. Listen to what I say to you tonight. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You know what's vote them out?
No. You see that girl right there, so? Actually, I hungry somebody a question with Daryl Vaz. I said, look on her. Look on her face. You see that girl there? That girl there said, what is he talking about? What do you mean vote them out? And look on this at you that there. I'm sorry, I can't listen. Why are you cheering for? You don't hear him say? This is what I'm telling you about the people that must support. Most of the people that must support the political party them. When them go out, something them don't listen. Anything the man them say, then just say, yeah. The man a chat foolishness on the stage, brother. The man a dissing the party and I say, yeah. The man say, vote them out. What do you mean vote them out? That only in a power. And then him repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And then him realize say make a mistake. And then him start repeat. You know why? You know why? You know why? You know why? Listen. You don't have to understand speech, you know. Listen. Listen, man. Listen.
I say to you tonight, vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You know what's vote them out? Not because you are PNP.
That girl that right there, so that does if your face look like somebody. I actually smell dude. Yeah, look at that girl.
Are you a JLP?
When he realized he make a mistake, he said, it don't matter if you're a JLP or you're a PNP. Listen to this.
God don't like ugly.
God don't like ugly. No. Oh my God.
Don't like bad mind. And bad mind. It's not something you're born with. Bad mind in your heart.
Bad mind.
Hello.
Bad mind is something you're born with, you know. Bad mind is something you're in your heart. So hold on, if you're in your heart, that's something you're born with. If you just in your heart, that's something you're born with. Yo, Mr. The man I chat, be a foolishness. How would them put in a room? How would them put in a room?
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help.
Produce, you remember when Damien said Daryl can come? No, Daryl has no reasoning ability.
I say to you tonight, vote them out.
Yes.
Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out.
So where are they? Look like a PMP around the country, so we must vote them out, yeah? Last time I check out JLP around the country, so I don't know. Probably something wrong with me still. I don't know. I could hear him again. No, man, I have to go back. Me need to see this again. No, sir. Something wrong.
I say to you tonight, vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You know what's vote them out? Not because you are PMP or you are JLP. God don't like ugly. God don't like bad mind.
Yo, I feel like Daryl throw shade off of Andrew. I feel like it's deliberate. I feel like they must sabotage one another. No unity in the other party. Yeah. Because there's no way you can nip on a big old rally like this. Remember say one big rally then keeping them? People remember say a whole heap of people did down there, you know. Remember say I manifested the man in Shubot, you know. And you tell me say Daryl Vaz come on the stage. And him don't write a speech, and at this Daryl Vaz come say, vote them out. When they're PMP in a power, then I must himself in my table. He might tell them, say, if you vote them out, them who? No you in a power, brother. No one know around the country, brother, for the last 10 years. So how comes you say vote them out? Then a year party has a way of vote out. Yo, trust me, this not gonna end well. Yo, this is gonna be comical on social media. It's gonna be crazy. God damn.
And bad mind. It's not something you're born with. Bad mind in your heart.
Bad mind and something you're born with. Bad mind in your heart.
Hello.
No.
Ball out!
No.
Whoa! We need help, Jesus.
No.
Jamaica need help.
No.
Produce, you remember when Damien said Daryl can come? No, Daryl has no reasoning ability.
Yes.
I say to you tonight, vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out.
Vote them out, Jamaica. Vote them out. And me telling you, Daryl telling you, vote them out. Yeah. But Malahoo, I'm sorry, I never have the strength tonight, but me I go through with all of them. No, sir. Marlene says,
Yes.
Listen to this argument from Marlene today.
Yes.
Listen to this argument from Marlene Malahoo today.
Marlene, check in.
Listen to this.
I want to tell Mark Golding that at no time can he stand in the shoes of Andrew Holness.
Marlene Malahoo. Look at Marlene Malahoo face. People, tap up your life. Look at Marlene Malahoo face, people. Worries in the dance, worries tonight. Let's go back.
Listen to this.
I want to tell Mark Golding that at no time can he stand in the shoes of Andrew Holness. No time.
You know, say I forced me and Marlene Malahoo agree on something. But when I spin it next way, at no time, Andrew can step in the shoes of Mark Golding. You know why? Because Mark Golding is not under investigation for illicit enrichment. Mark Golding is certified. A certified shoes Mark Golding are walking a Marlene Malahoo. You remember good?
Nor can his team match our team. So let me tell you something.
Hold on now. You mean the team here in the country for the last 9 years? We mash up the economy, mash up healthcare. All types of money unaccounted for the same team that you have about. Well, Malahoo, that's your opinion. I beg to differ.
I want Mark Golding, since he has made integrity
Well, see, I want Mark Golding.
an issue of this campaign. Tell the
So hold on there. So hold on there, Marlon Malahoo. As a lawyer, integrity is not an issue for you? What should I say?
people of Jamaica how you came to succeed in the seat that you are. What price did you pay? And what did you gain?
So Marlon Malahoo, what you try to suggest? If you're not bring no evidence, you know, better you go sit down. If you're not bring no evidence, you better you go sit down. Because right now you're quiet, you're preach too. You know, move no come ready with that argument there. So, what you say? Evidence, so you go.
I think it's only fair that you tell the people of Jamaica. We don't want to speculate. Tell us your role with FinSac. Tell us.
Marlon Malahoo Ford. You think so everybody a idiot? You think so everybody a idiot? Roll with FinSac. Roll out the Blurt North report. Roll out the report and you can know the role of him. Roll out the report, Marlon Malahoo. Because I must take you for that. Remember, say I only in a power, you know? Remember, say all you have to do is release the FinSac report, you know? And all of the nasty things that everybody did will be shown. So talk to me, Marlon Malahoo Fort. Why you don't release the FinSac report since as Mark Golding is so involved in FinSac? Must you take people for that? I think so, yeah, Bobo?
Relationship with the former Minister of Finance. Tell us how your companies earn the profits of the backs of Jamaican.
No, Marlon Malahoo. I want you to tread softly. Because, you see, Mark Golding a liar. Careful what you say. Because you better can prove that. You hear? Because what you suggest is that Mark Golding do something wrong for gain. In that time, as a businessman, excuse me, when some people had a loss, I want thing to sure about. In every financial system, some people win and some people lose. It depends on how you prepare yourself. So what want you to do for me, Marlon Malahoo? Bring the evidence. We don't want you in a bag of talk.
Clean and tell us, because at no time can you stand in the shoes of our leader, Andrew Holness. Who are the big man? Andrew, who run the island, Andrew and his team. And we say, to God be the glory. Forward ever, backward never. Put your ex beside the bell. Choose the Jamaica Labour Party. Choose a better future for you.
So hold on there. Marlon Malahoo. I wish better future you talk about. You got one like someone just a campaign and in opposition. How are the blows and skirt are going? Somebody talk to me there, because I come like say something wrong with me. Somebody talk to me, man. Why is Marlon Malahoo talking as if she's in the opposition and running and trying to win over the people? What do you mean by choose a better future? What about her now? How things stay now? Has things been better now than it was before? Can we where the labor right then there? Hold on there. What the labor right then there? I don't see nobody at type. You know, so me go jump off and jump on back. I don't know. Come like a chat freeze up. Hold on there. Yeah man, it come like a chat. A chat dynamic while go on. It come like a chat freeze a while ago. Now, why in the heaven would Mark Golding want to ever walk in Andrew Holness' shoes? Andrew Holness' shoes taking him to prison. Them duns bad. All right. So, it's okay? Okay, good. So, Marlon Malahoo, you know, when it comes to Mark Golding and his shoes, you see when you have stink foot, you You see, when you have athlete's foot, nobody don't want to wear your shoes because they don't want to catch athlete's foot. So your shoes we are talk about with Andrew have athlete's foot right now in our politics. Him have athlete's foot. As a matter of fact, him have ingrown nail and infection. So him probably need to do some type of surgery to cut out the ingrown nail and to clean up the infection. And then of course, you know the other part type. The athlete's foot part is not normal. It take a little time for that fix. Because you know you have to keep the foot dry and clean. Feel me? I'm saying you have to put on a little medication and them something there. So Marky G don't want to wear Andrew on his shoes. He don't want to fit in it. Because if he shoes, he not have them something there in it. He not have no foot problem. If you understand what I say. Marky G not have no foot problem, mama. So him no need that. People go and tap up his screen now and I wanna do.
What can go
Wanna do? Tap up his screen. Tap up his screen.
Man in Malahoo,
Tap up his
your
screen.
nonsensical arguments.
Yes.
Your nonsensical arguments.
Yes.
Your arguments are nonsensical because Mark Golding doesn't need to walk in the shoes of Andrew Holness. He walks in the shoes of himself.
Nelson wanna go on. Big up.
Mark Golding doesn't need to walk in the shoes of Andrew Holness. You know why? He doesn't have 28 bank accounts. He has only 3. He's certified Mali in something that your prime minister isn't. He never stole monies from charities or take monies from charity. He never buy a Pinsac house. According to Zara Burton, Holness get Pinsac house. That's why I'm not want to release the report.
Let me play that back. Because I don't think me hear what me hear a while ago.
Charities or take monies from charity. He never buy a Pinsac house. According to Zara Burton, Holness get Pinsac house. That's why I'm not want to release the report. Hello, caller. Good night.
So Andrew, any truth to that, sir? But just ask. I fast and I pass. Oh, it go. Is there any truth to you owning a Finsac house? Ryan Campbell, what up, my brother? Salute. And shout out to my babes, Miss Akimi, man. Happy birthday. Shout out to Formosa Fantasy. Happy birthday as well. Damn, both of you. Damn. So Formosa Fantasy birthday is the 22nd. Wait a minute. Pause. Hold up. When was Miss Akimi's birthday? Was it the 24th or the 23rd? Today is the 25th. Yo, Ryan, when was Miss Akimi's birthday, bro? When was Miss... Oh, sorry, my bad. When was Miss Akimi's birthday? When did she keep her birthday thing? When was that? Let me know if you know. Let me see. Miss Akimi. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Miss Akimi on YouTube. Oh, there's babes. There's babes. Let me give this public service announcement real quick. Y'all go follow Miss Akimi on YouTube. It's right there, literally Miss Akimi. Get her to 1,000 subs. Let me see when she had her live stream, her birthday live stream. All in the family. No, that ain't it. Did she delete it? Damn, what the hell happened? Miss Akimi, you delete your live stream? Oh, that's some bullshit. Does she have another account? Did she go live on another account? Huh. I guess she played music or something. I don't know, but y'all go subscribe to Miss Akimi. And that's my internet babes. And Formosa Fantasy. Baby girl, Formosa. That's Formosa right there. She always got the music. Oh, thank God it's on mute. So right there, ladies and gentlemen, she is at what's that? 1,600. Get her to 2K. go ahead, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? For all the ladies that want to get your makeup on fleek, get your shit together, or do you need services where makeup is concerned when you're here in Jamaica? She's in the Montego Bay area. Yeah. Her contact and everything should be here. You know what I'm saying? You can reach out to her in the comment section. She'll definitely hit you back up. Yeah, that's it. So she's the 22nd. I think Miss Akimi's 2 days after her. Both of them is the same sign. Got mad love for both of them. Shout out to Miss Akimi. And shout out to Foremost of Fantasy. You know what I mean? All right, let's continue.
Now listen, Marlene, Malahoo Ford, man. I eat that.
Nikki Ann, what's up, Nikki Ann? Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go check out Nikki Ann's page for all the she got them educational kids videos. Go check out her page, all right?
Labour Party full of done still
Nikki
done.
Ann, they can drop a link in the chat so they can follow you.
It's a runway. All right. From Desmond McKenzie go right down a beer dunce.
Dunce, fully dunce. But then her argument is that the PNP...
Even Andrew Jones are the Prime Minister and him.
Cutting Edge, what up, my bro Ski? Drop your link in the chat too, fam. Y'all go check out my boy Cutting Edge, man.
Dunce.
But her argument is that members of the PNP can't stand up.
When you know much not there, they're not competent in the Labour Party.
When you look at healthcare, Alfred, it's Christopher.
Andrew Jones prove it, you know, say a beer dunce, you know. Him can't put...
No, but like seriously, when you compare personnel between the People's National Party at every level, Fayval Williams is not as competent as Damian Crawford in terms of education. He's an actual teacher. And she was an education minister. And even if you want to use Dora the Explorer, like she... Really? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, drop a link in our chat, man. So I'm saying, when you look at healthcare, Dr. Alfred Dawes is an actual doctor. He works in that field. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of doctors in the People's National Party. A lot of doctors. A lot of attorneys and doctors. There's a lot of doctors and attorneys in the People's National Party. So what are you talking about? Compared to who? All right, so let's go down the list of people that is top. Desmond McKenzie. Bobsy Grange. Tufton. This is healthcare. We're just gonna look at the ministries then. Who else is there? Fayval. Marlene Malahoo Fort. Who? What's her name? Let me look at one of them picture. Hold on.
One of them now him have a much ministry for himself.
Hold on.
I can't
understand. They don't see a Labour Party.
I really can't understand her argument.
Yeah, it's wild.
I really can't understand.
It's actually wild.
All right, bless you now.
It's actually wild what you said. I'm
Hello, caller. Good night.
I'm astonished actually.
Good night.
Yes.
Oh, anti-Fayval sound like them. This crowd all like them boo anti-Fayval, man.
No, the crowd now boo anti-Fayval, and I move on from that topic. All right.
All right, sir.
Bless you. I'm going to take my first commercial break right now. Jamaica, just send me some energy.
So, I'm going to go to the Manifesto Light. Venus, what's up? Warmington. Warmington? Nah, B. Nah. I'm going to go to the Manifesto Light. You know, I just wanted to deal with those three and move on to the substantive issue and what we're very excited about, which is the bombshell that Mark Golding dropped. However, they dropped some more bombshells in the light, the Manifesto Light thing today. You know, they really did. So let's get to it.
To announce closer to the election date for various reasons, and those will be disclosed today. One of them was disclosed last night at the rally we had in...
Please continue to hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We'll say tired of them.
Damian Crawford, Senator Damian Crawford.
Yo!
Julian, you're going to go next. Oh,
Sure.
my apologies. Julian will be asked to speak next in the sequence of speakers that we have. And just to say in closing that our platform of ideas, our platform of programs for the Jamaican people is rooted in the struggles and the voices of the Jamaican people. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Party Leader, and good morning, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and those who are watching. I think it's important to explain to the country how the commitments that we have made are going to be funded. There are questions that have been asked of that. And I first want to start off by reaffirming the People's National Party's commitment to fiscal responsibility and prudent management of the economy. And I want to go back a little because I believe a historical perspective is important to look at what we did when we were last at the wicket. When we inherited the economy in 2012, the country was on the precipice of economic collapse. The last JLP administration from 2007 to 2011 had failed the last 3 IMF tests. In fact, they didn't even take the tests. Jamaica faced a significant trust deficit where our international partners simply didn't believe that we were capable of being responsible. When we inherited the economy in 2012 under the leadership of the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller as Prime Minister and Dr. Peter Phillips as Minister of Finance, we had to undertake significant work, heavy lifting to re-establish Jamaica's credibility with our international partners. What did we do? We enhanced and strengthened the fiscal rules.
Shout out to KB,
we legislated.
You know
I want to emphasize this. We legislated the debt to GDP projection so that we could get to.
Nah, for real, shout out to the broski, man. It's always respect, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to KB, man. Sometimes I get to come through. I was watching him last night, but I was working. I was busy as hell. I was tired, and I was trying to. He was up early this morning, and I was making thumbnails. I fell asleep. I ain't gonna cap. I fell asleep making thumbnails last night. I was like, man, dang. I'm out like a light. You feel me? Who this? What's up? You good? All right. How we are doing? I'm in my life, man. How we are doing here, babe? So yeah, shout out to KB, man. KB killing it with those reactions to all the stuff that's going on, and he kills it, and I love it. I love those videos where he's, you know what I'm saying, dealing with all of these basketball players, you know what I'm saying, all of these so-called celebrities, man to man, you know what I'm saying. They try to show shade at him about basketball, but if you want to link me on WhatsApp, you can call me on WhatsApp, you know? WhatsApp active on the computer. Listen, if you want to call me now, you can call me. If you want the people to hear you, can call me now when they come through the speaker here, so you can hear me. That's the 451 though. 451 6535. All right. Anyway, there was one more thing that I forgot. There's one more thing that I left out, which is critical before I go to the manifesto. So Cliff Hughes, wow. Cliff Hughes. Here we go, right here. Listen to this.
Nationwide went as far as went for Professor Damian King. Can you put up Dr. Damian King's picture for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to listen to what that interview today with Dr. Damian King.
All right, so this is about the manifesto. The manifesto light and the bombshell that Mark Golding dropped, where the threshold has increased to $3.5 million. So basically, Nationwide was trying to get information from this professional about which idea is the best idea. So hear what he has to say, because this was very interesting.
Listen to this, Jamaica. Listen to this carefully.
Very interesting.
Start with what the considerations should be. Income tax has the advantage of allowing you to make it progressive, for it to be a tiered structure, which we already have, because below the threshold, the rate is 0.
Yes.
And above the threshold, it is 25, and still above that, 30%. So income tax does have that advantage. The disadvantage of income tax in the Jamaican context is that so few working people pay it.
Yes.
The labor force survey records twice as many persons employed as are on the income tax thresholds of the income tax rolls of tax administration. So half of the income earners are not even on the income tax rolls.
My God.
Have no footprint, not paying anything.
So
what that tells you.
So before he goes, okay, Bolo, what's up? Bolo, how the boy conjure noseless, a sweat and a scratch so much. I did not watch him, so I don't know. But in terms of what he just said a while ago, he said that presently half of the persons that are employed don't pay income tax. So whatever the threshold is, let me see if I can find out what the current threshold is. So whatever the threshold is, where you pay tax after that, most of the population is making under that amount of money. So what is the current threshold for income tax in Jamaica? See if I can find that out real quick. Not interested. The current threshold, so taxes including personal income taxes, expenses, and limitations are reviewed by the government of Jamaica periodically. The government increased the annual general personal income tax (PIT) threshold from $1,500,096 to $1,700,088 effective April 1st. So according to this is the Ministry of Finance Public Service, right? According to this, the previous threshold was $1.7 million Jamaican, which means anybody that made over $1.7 million a year would start paying everything over 1.7 million. You start paying income tax. No, where's my phone? Hold on. Let me just do a quick calculation. So what that means is, I don't like use this phone sometime now. What that means is you have to divide 1.7 million. Yeah, 1.7 million. How much? $88. So that's not right. That's not right. Too many zeros. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right, there we go. So you divide that by 12, and this is what you get. So good morning, Matthew. How are you doing? This is what you get. So everybody that works in Jamaica that works $141,674, you pay a month. You pay income tax. Any money over that, you pay income tax. The persons that work less than $141,000 in Jamaica don't pay income tax. So according to the gentleman a while ago, most Jamaicans don't make $141,000 a month. You know how bad that is, especially if you live in certain areas, because rent is a mother, and then you have light, water. If you have cable or Wi-Fi, that's another expense. And if you have children, you need to have cable and Wi-Fi. not for entertainment purposes alone, but also for educational purposes, because everything is mostly digital now, and they would need a tablet, they would need a computer, and they would need internet access at home. So you have water, light, cable, internet, your actual rent, because most people pay rent in Jamaica. And then after 1,000, hold on, after $144,000 a month, divide this by 4. That's $35,418 a week. Yeah, most Jamaicans is not making that a week. But for the ones that do, like the police them, the soldier them, the nurse them, what is happening with their pay is that they are getting a 25% tax deduction for income tax. So when they divide this figure by 100 and then times it by 25, you will get the figure that is deducted. So this is what is being deducted from those people pay every month, $8,854. Now with Mark Golding increasing, well, no, I wouldn't say, no, that was wrong. No, that is wrong. Well, that is actually right. If you put a dollar on it, yes, it's actually right. If it go over the 141,000, that is what is going to be taken from your pay. So this is what is going to be taken from your pay if you make over 141,000 plus dollars, right? They're going to take almost $9,000 from out of your money. That's every week. So when it times this figure by 4, what is taken out of your money? Ooh, wait a minute. No, that's not right. No, that's actually what you get. Ooh, damn. Yo, they're literally taking a week's pay out of your money. They're literally taking a week's pay out of your money. 25% is 1 out of 4. So they're taking a week's pay out of your money. So what Mark Golding just did, instead, what the JLP did is say we're gonna decrease the percentage of income tax that is drawn from that money. So the people that have the most money, like the wealthy people, Leprechaun, what's up? The people that have the most money, like the wealthy people, they are going to pay less taxes. But the persons that make 35,000, the police and all of those people, they're going to pay a lesser percentage, but they're still going to be paying more when you look at it. They're going to be losing more than they're gaining still, right? They're still going to be losing. They're going to be losing less, but they're going to be losing nonetheless, if you get what I'm saying. So when Mark Golding carries a threshold to 3.5 million, after 3.5 million, that's when they start paying income tax under Mark Golding. So what does 3.5 million look like? What does that look like? $3.5 million. $3.5 million divided by 12. That's 12 months of the year. You would be making $291,000 a month. Anything over $291,000, $666.66. That means you're going to start, every dollar after that, you start paying income tax. So the person that are making $1.7 million, they wouldn't be paying any income tax. But the wealthy people, them, under Mark Golding, still would be paying their 25%. You get it? So most people will not be paying any taxes under Mark Golding, income taxes under Mark Golding, because most people don't make this type of money a month. $291,000. What that means is you would increase your potential for actual money, and you'll actually save that $8,000, $9,000 a week, that $35,000 a month in your pocket now, because you're not paying it anymore. So the 1 week pay with them take from you, Mark Golding just gave you back. Come on, man, talk to me. Talk to me. The $35,000 plus dollars of income tax that was being taken from you. All of you that make over $1.7 million a year, I'm talking to you right now. All of you that never made that money, I'm still talking to you. And you want the desire to make that amount of money a year or even more. What Mark Golding just did is a game changer. He increased the threshold of the income tax. So now you'd have to make over 3.5 million a year to actually start paying income tax. If you don't make 3.5 million a year, you keep all your money in your pocket, baby. You keep all your money in your pocket, baby. Tell me that that's not game changing. What? Man, come on, bro. Tell me that's not game changing, bro. How much a week is that? Divide that by 4. $91,000 a week? Who in Jamaica is making $91,000 a week? How many Jamaicans is making that? So all of my Jamaican people, you can increase your potential of earnings to $91,000 a week and you still won't be paying income tax. Oh, my son, them can't deduct no money from you if you make $91,000 a week. Oh, my son, forget about the $666. Forget about that. Yes, and it's better for the country because remember the money have to come from somewhere, you know. So every dollar that the rich person makes in terms of over $3.5 million, they're going to take 25% from it. So the more money they make, percentage-wise, is going to be more tax collected. Oh, by the way, people are going to become more generous. They're going to spend more. So there's more money in the market. So the economy will be flowing because the money will be moving. The economy is very stagnant, you know. That's why a lot of businesses is feeling a real hard pinch. People don't have money like that to spend. They must think about them bills hard, and they must pencil out things. Even if they make a nice money, they must pencil out things. It's the truth. It's really, really challenging. It's really, really challenging. I'm not going to tell you a lie. But I just live and trust God. And I'm not just talking about myself. I'm sure there's other people out there that's how them go by. It's like, you just trust God and live. So God are going to provide. It's really, really hard. It's really, really challenging for really, like, it's not even funny, B. It's crazy challenging right now. I'm not telling a lie. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is crazy. But let's continue. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Is that there is this huge horizontal inequity.
Yes.
Between who's paying and who's not paying. Not based on the income you're earning, but just based on whether you're compliant or not. Yes. Based on whether you're on PAYE. And the reason why that is relevant is because it tells you whether we should be relying on income tax at all. Because of its horizontal unfairness.
Wagwan Rose, you hear that? The man is questioning whether or not we should be relying on income tax at all because of its horizontal unfairness. Listen what this man is an analyst, this man is an expert. Listen.
So in that context, what is the best way to shift away from income tax and towards our value-added tax, which is what GCT is? Yes. Which is more broad-based and much harder to evade. You know, if you buy a bond, you know, you're paying a tiny amount of it.
Oh God, poor Andre tonight. Andre look like but does I see it. Andre had my clothes on last. I'm tired. And him still go one more hour after that. Damn. You just leaving work, Rose? Somebody say, Leprechaun said the sad thing is that the dietary laborers don't even understand none of this. Bro, I am learning all of this in real time. I'm not no expert. I'll be listening. You know what I'm saying?
What raising threshold does is...
So them can learn too. Them choose to be done. You understand what I'm Matthew? Them choose to be done.
Eliminates, more people
Listen
from being
carefully.
obliged to pay the tax.
Listen,
The problem with that is that only 15% of those on PAYE are above the threshold. So when you
Only 15% are above the threshold.
raise the threshold, you are affecting a really tiny number of persons. 85% of them are below the threshold, and another half of them are not even on, as I said before, not even compliant. So you're really affecting 7% of the labor force. Employed labor force. Whereas, if you lower the rate, then you're keeping all of those people as income taxpayers and having basically all of them. Still not a lot of people, but you're having all of them paying some taxes. So it's two ways of moving away from a reliance on income taxes, which because of the horizontal inequity is something that we should be doing.
Yes.
But it's two different ways of doing it.
And I think that proposal is clear in both manifestos or both policies, so to speak. But what is the most efficient way to do it? Just eliminating the threshold in one go to 3.5, or going with this steady reduction as time and resources allow down to 15% and maybe even further as time goes on?
But in both cases, it is going to be and ought to be as time goes on. You know, neither of the political parties are going to implement it at a rate that leads us towards fiscal deficits and back to, rising public debt.
You hear that? That is very important. He said neither party is going to raise it to a point, is going to carry the income tax threshold to a point where it affects the debt to GDP and us paying off our debt at a certain rate, because there's something called the fiscal papers that the People's National Party implemented under Portia Simpson Miller before this current administration got into power. And this is the reason why our debt to GDP has been going down steadily, because they have to pay a certain amount every year. It's like you take out a loan at the bank and you agree to the bank that you're going to be paying them $75 million or $75,000 a month back every month. In this case, it's in the more higher figures because of how much the debt is. But the plan of the fiscal papers is to make sure that the debt is at a certain level and continues to go down so you can open up more fiscal space. That's what the fiscal papers is about. This legislation is law. The JLP had no choice but to follow the law, the fiscal laws. And the reason why they did it is because they don't trust the JLP anymore to just do the right thing without a law. Because what they did with Bruce Golding administration really messed us up with our reputation worldwide. When the IMF shuns you, every other banking sector in the world shuns you. You can't get no money for borrow, you can't get no grant, you can't get nothing. They don't listen. The IMF did not want to have a conversation with Jamaica anymore. They wanted our economy to crash for us to learn a lesson because of what the JLP did. Can you imagine Jamaica's economy crashing? Have you guys ever lived through an economy crashing? Do you understand what that means? Well, some Americans can tell you because some of them lived through their whole economy crashing. It's not pretty. Some people, see the FinSac thing, some people took their lives. Right? Imagine the economy crashing. Just imagine that. Just pre the whole economy crashing. Did the America wanted our economy to crash? Because the man them violate the IMF, brother. Portia had to beg. Omar Phillips or Peter, which one of them? Which one of them was my finance minister at the time? Two of them have to beg. Portia was ahead of the begging. just to get a meeting with the IMF, just to have a discussion, just to say, yo, listen, we understand they messed up, but please, do not push our economy to a crash. Please. Omar Davis. Omar Davis was the finance minister, right? Yeah, Omar Davis. You get me? He was like, they were like, please do not leave us out to dry for our economy to crash. They were begging the IMF. And Kevin Evelis, what's up? And the IMF, thank God, because of, at the time there was women, it was a woman director, I believe, in the IMF at the time, or somebody of high kilt that was there, that because Portia had a conversation with her, woman to woman, you see me? She could go, all right, listen, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to talk to them. And she talked to them, got them a meeting. But even in the meeting, the negotiation was terrible, bro. Why you think they had to, why you think the teachers and the civil servants and public sector had a wage freeze? I the JLP to be blaming them because of the harsh fiscal things they had to sign up. They had to pass several tests. They didn't get all the money at the same time. Yo. Line up. Hold on there.
Current guy.
So Portia had to pass some series of tests before they even got to the point where they would lend them money. It's like they had to prove it's like they had to prove to the IMF that, yo, we won't do the same thing that the JLP did. Literally. And as I understand it, they used somebody that was from a country that don't even like black people to grade us, so they would not give us any slack. We were tested and we were marked hard. You know when you have one teacher when they like you? Yes. They want you to fail, but them have them integrity, so they are going to make sure that you really pass the test. Although they want you to fail, you know, they're going to make sure you pass the test. So credit to Omar Davis and Portia Simpson Miller and the entire team, the finance ministry, because they passed several tests. I think it was 11. And after that, the legislation was put into place to make sure that we never revisit a point where the IMF or any banking institution worldwide decides that they don't want to do any business with Jamaica anymore. I just really need people to understand that. So that's the reason why this man just said what he said. He's telling you, sure, none of them cannot violate that anymore. So you don't have to worry, because one of the narratives out there by the Jamaica Labour Party social media pundits is that, you know, the PMP is going to mismanage the economy. The fiscal laws are there. Once it's followed, the economy cannot, and I repeat, cannot be violated. What we need right now is economic growth, something that the JLP has not been able to achieve. The biggest economic growth we've had historically for any political party was under the People's National Party. It was Peter Phillips, not Omar. Thank you so much for the correction, Sean, first. So it was Peter Phillips and Mama P. Remember, some never used to follow up with politics, so we can get them something wrong, you know. Thank you for the correction, sir. You understand? Thank you for the correction. I appreciate it. Most humbly. You never left me out for dry. You never laugh off of me. And you never diss me. Thank you for the correction, my boss. So, we understand why he just said what he said. Don't worry about it. None of the party them cannot bring down the economy because the fiscal laws are there. And this threshold thing, one of them really does not help the country, and one of them helps the country give it a little edge, and that's the Mark Golding one. It gives the country an edge because more money.
So that Pepsi and thing and this and that. Yeah, man.
Almost. Thanks again. Respect my boss. Respect. So, yeah, let's continue.
Hey. But my purpose here is to explain the consequences of both so that people can make their own determination.
You hear what the man say? His purpose here is to explain the consequences of both decisions. One decision is to make the threshold 15%, and the next decision is to raise the threshold. And he's saying that that's why he's here. You understand? To make you know what is the pros and the cons of both. And so far, I have not heard anything detrimental to the economy where Mark Golding's plan is concerned. He has told us that it would create a more balance horizontally. And that's exactly what Mark Golding explained. Because Mark Golding actually understands the economy. He was a businessman. And that's why he really thrived. And his businesses thrived. Because he's smart. Not because him thief nobody money. He maneuvered, his company maneuvered well in a very tough time. And they did not need any help from the government. So stop telling those lies about Mark Golding. Stop it. Release the FinSac report. Thank you. Release it.
Cliff disappointed. You want a smaller number of people, an even smaller number of people paying income tax? Or do you want a larger number paying a lower tax?
So he's saying, do you want a smaller number of people paying income tax? Or do you want a larger number of people paying a small amount of tax? No. I am going to take the latter. I'm going to take the first one. Yeah. I'm going to take the first one. So I'm not a cup, bro. You know, a big cup over there.
I'm not a big cup. So
we have to go work with.
You have to work with it, man.
You think you have a big cup, brother? I'm putting it for yourself. Anyway, Leprechaun say they use tough come because they think he can spin the thing.
The customer service 25, yeah?
Yo, brother, just do your right thing.
Just must can drink something. Just say yes. You must can drink something.
Take 15 bills.
I say I must can drink something.
Take 15 bills.
12, so I can drink.
Yeah, there are 15 bills that?
No, this is 12 and 8.
Brother, stop embarrassing me, man.
No, I'm not embarrassing.
You embarrass me upon the life, brother. You embarrass me, brother. Just do your right thing. Do your right thing. My broke, bro. My broke. Yeah, the man. Yo, do your right thing, brother. No bother with that.
As long as you're, in either case, you're giving up revenue, which you're going to have to get back some other way. But, you know, it's up to what people prefer.
Based on the theory of...
So do you guys prefer less people paying income tax? Or do you prefer more people paying a smaller amount? What do you prefer? I prefer less people paying the income tax because Mark Golding is not going to the 15% that they're planning to carry it down. That's a proposal, so it don't happen yet. Currently, it's at 25. So with raising the threshold to $3.5 million, ladies and gentlemen, all the money over $3.5 million will be taxed by 25%. There has been a number of people already that don't pay income tax because they just don't make that amount of money to pay it. And again, there is an imbalance with it because there are some people that escape paying it. So what he's saying is that the advantage of increasing the income tax threshold is going to balance things out even more. So I'm going with the 3.5 million. I want to make some more money, man. I want to be able to make, let me see. Is it 299,000, almost 300,000 a month without paying income tax? I'm with it. Yes, I'm with it. More money in my pocket. From the bottom up, baby. Anything after that, you can take an income tax. But I want to be able to make $299,000 a month without paying income tax. Oh, my son.
Economics and all economics.
No. Courtney, JLP did not fail 13 consecutive IMF tests. They did not take it. The tests they flunked the class. They didn't attempt. You have it wrong. Listen, man, get your facts right. But I see what you're saying, but they really did not take any.
Which is the more efficient route? When you balance all the elections,
given the horizontal inequity, it is more efficient to get more people off of the income tax rolls entirely, because that minimizes the horizontal inequity. That minimizes the likelihood that myself and another person earning the same income are one person paying taxes and the other person not paying taxes at all. So if your objective is to minimize that unfairness, then you want to raise the threshold.
You hear what the man said? If your objective is to minimize the unfairness, you will raise the threshold. And that's exactly what Mark Golding did. He has just certified Mark Golding's move, ladies and gentlemen, to create fairness in the market. That's exactly what Marky G said. His intention was, if you guys listen to what Mark Golding said last night, let me go to the video. Cliff Hughes was not expecting this. Oh my goodness. Wow. I freestyle people. So just give me a second to find the video. All right, here we go. It's not that far. It's right here.
Some employers have been lifted out of poverty because at least one of them will get into the ranks of those who are earning a better income in the society.
Hold on. I'm going too far.
And we want to ensure that those children who work so hard and try to make their parents proud, and they keep themselves out of bad company, and they get their subjects and they want to go further to university or college, and they can't cross it for them with that too. Full scholarship will get into the...
Right, that's it.
Now, comrades,
listen.
When we launched our manifesto a couple of weeks ago, we said that we were going to be publishing another document summarizing the main points in our manifesto, but with a little icing on the cake too.
Icing.
And tomorrow we will be launching that document.
Yes.
But there's something I want to give you a sneak preview of tonight.
Yes.
Now I hear the laborites are talking about adjusting the rate of income tax. But that is going to benefit those who are very, very wealthy more than it will benefit those who are less wealthy.
Wanna hear that? Let me play that back.
Now I hear the laborites are talking about adjusting the rate of income tax.
Yes.
But that is going to benefit Those who are very, very wealthy, more than will benefit those who are less wealthy.
Yes.
Because the rate, once reduced for them, means that they will be paying less tax because they're earning more to begin with.
Hey.
We are going...
You hear that? They'll be paying less tax because they're earning more to begin with. So when you reduce the percentage of income tax that is being extracted, it benefits the bigger man because he's going to save way more money. Just imagine everything over 1.7 million. It's simple maths. Everything over 1.7 million, a man that make 30 million, everything over 1.7 million, he have to pay 25% tax. Let's do the maths. Let's do the maths. Say for instance, a $27 million over the amount that $27 million over the 1.7 million, that is the threshold. So when they divide that by 100 and times it by 25, this person would be paying $6,750,000 after the $1.7 billion in his income. Every money after that, at 25%, he will come up to this if he might earn $27 million more. Now, when they reduce it to 15%, he's only going to pay $4,050,000. Now, let me tell you how much money the drop is going to save him. I'm going to go back to the 25%. All right, minus that by 4,500,000. 4,500,000. No, that's not 4,500,000. 4,050,000, right? 4,050,000. Oh, damn. Too many zeros. Hold up. All right, so 4,050,000. When you minus that, that man or woman is saving $2.7 billion. So $2.7 billion less is going to be taken from the person that makes $27 million over their income. The government is no longer going to be getting that $2.7 million. So you see the big boys, they'll be saving big money. When you reduce it from 25% to 15%. When you keep it at 25% and you increase the threshold, the persons under the threshold, which is most of us, would be able to maximize our potential in earnings. Because remember, there's a lot of things that the government is doing to boost the economy. One is to attack education, because education is key, right? 2, to invest in the creative industry. Like myself, people that sing, artists, everything, right? 3, they're going to increase home ownership and land titles as well. What is that going to do? When you buy an NHC house and you get the land for free, that land is equity that you can go to the bank and do what? Increase your earning potential. So when you borrow money from the bank now for investing in some type of business, you're looking to make more money. So with the increase of the threshold, you don't have to worry about paying income tax after you pass $3.5 million a year. Oh, by the way, the cost of living is rising because of the influx of inflation. So it's also going to supplement, on the garden market, I don't know if you put back things, on the garden supermarket, and we have to put back things because we don't have enough money to buy the things them. We don't know, like what we are going through, like we know. So, listen, every ambitious youth out there, every ambitious woman, every ambitious man out there, under 45 years old, member say, for a $500,000 grant there, for pay down on the house of your choice. In all of that, I just say a while ago. And in earning that house with that land from NHT that you're not going to be paying for, plus you're not going to be paying back the $500,000, that's equity. That's money you're saving. That's potential earnings. You just have to be creative about it. Yo, when I told you Mark Golding zero the game, Imans and Iman them not done yet. Them have more things to take. Yo, them have more surprise to give you know. Drink man. Lord of mercy.
To deal with that matter in a way that benefits those who need it most. Under the PNP government that is to come, we will be increasing the tax threshold so that persons who currently pay tax at 25%, if they're earning up to $3.5 million a year, they will be paying tax at 0%. Under the next PNP government, we'll be raising the threshold to give them a tax-free income.
So we have to remember those people, the taxmen and everybody, this is key, that actually make $1.7 million a year, which is current threshold. They're being taxed. Income tax is coming out of their money. So what that means is they will be paying no tax. Oh, by the way, their overtime will not be taxed. So they will not be paying overtime tax as well. Those are two taxes. You remember them say, no new taxes, PMP are going to pay more tax. Yo, Mark Golding does shot. That was a headshot from France. That man took a rifle. All right, a 50 caliber custom, and he proceeded to aim at the head of the organization in terms of their governance style. This is a hypothetical situation. This is not violence, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. This move by Mark Golding was like from a bullet from a 50 caliber all the way from France to Belmont Road in Jamaica. Yes. And it hit. It was a direct hit. There is political blood all over the floor, and the JLP at this point is in critical condition, and the doctors are saying, listen, I don't know, only God can help. And remember, say them don't want to deal with God, so them corner dark, I can't them deal with. And according to the doctors, not even God can help them. So Andrew, they make $10 million a year if him tax them. Mighty God. How much income tax him pay? That's our next conversation. I want to go on that time there. $10 million.
Because as the economy improves and the fiscal space improves, we will raise our tax threshold further and further, because we want money to be in the pockets of those who are struggling right now to make ends meet, so they can consume goods and services and make the economy stronger, make their lives better, and make Jamaica move up, up, up. One aim and one destiny is what we are dealing with for all Jamaican people.
Not some, for all Jamaican people. This was a well thought out. This man is brilliant. I'm sorry. Listen, I just don't give people, I have to give people them props. I can't know. Seriously, he's brilliant, brother. He understands. He has an understanding. And I'm telling you, this is not even, you hear him say the icing, then a white cherry. What do you have planned? Bro, you zero game already, you know, brother? Marky G, let me tell you something. I know say them are always you're a family man, but somebody clip this up. Mark Golding. You zero game already, you know, my general. I mean, no say I have something else up your sleeve, you know. Me just know, I got a feeling. Ooh. that this gonna be, you know them way there? No, Marky G, a 0 game in the general. With that, yo, John, bro. I mean, no say you have something. No say you have something else up your sleeve, you know? No say you have something else up your sleeve. Yeah, man. We're gonna move on from that. Let's go back to the general with the Depot Andre program.
So the 3.5. The 3.
And in terms of the voter looking on, the citizen looking on, yes. Whenever you give up tax, you have to find it from somewhere else. Don't you? Yeah?
And that is the question. That is the question that both parties have to answer.
That is the question that both parties have to answer. So the PMP is not the only one that has to answer that question. Now let us hear from Andrew Onis. Where's the money coming from? Do you want to elaborate? Do you want to break it down? The debate is going to be epic, ladies and gentlemen, between Andrew Onis and Mark Golding. Ooh. Shout out to all my day ones. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Okay? Nobody, nor the fiscal responsibility framework, allows us to run large fiscal deficits.
You hear that? The fiscal framework does not allow us to run large deficits. So it's not going to affect the economy in a negative way. Hello?
Both parties have to say where the revenue is coming from. That determines the impact of what they are suggesting.
You hear there, Jimmy?
And until that is offered, then there's no basis on which to make a decision.
So basically what he's saying is, it's up in the air. It's up in the air, ladies and gentlemen.
He never expected.
This man was a fear analyst. He did not. He just told the truth. So you, the Jamaica, this is why we need to be educated, you know, about these things, you know. But I'm telling you my understanding. You have to read. We have to show ourselves up. We have to study and show ourselves approved. You understand? And I'm telling you, for me, Mark Golding, Rose Wagon, Mark Golding. Now go with Golding.
He never expected that Dr. Damian King would have endorsed Mark Golding's raising of the 3.5 million threshold. He expected Dr. Damian King would have ravished and tear apart the argument. But Dr. Damian King said, using the horizontal approach would have been the better way. Nationwide got an embarrassment today. They couldn't believe that because they have been fishing. They have been made fishers of men trying to discredit the Jamaica Labour Party.
And you know, if Nationwide gave the same energy to the JLP, I wouldn't have a problem with them, you know. I wouldn't have a problem with them if they dig as hard into everything that all the scandals of the JLP. It's like they choose to just let it go. That's why people have a problem with them, you know.
Not the Jamaica Labour Party, the People's National Party. But them not getting it, Jamaica. They went as far as to say how the economy going crash with the 3.5. But when you have greater...
Hey, and that's a perfect way to segue into what Julian Robinson is going to say here. Guys, give me a second. I'm going to go dark. Let's go.
And I first want to start off by reaffirming the People's National Party's commitment to fiscal responsibility and prudent management of the economy. And I want to go back a little because I believe a historical perspective is important to look at what we did when we were last at the wicket. When we inherited the economy in 2012, the country was on the precipice of economic collapse. The last JLP administration from 2007 to 2011 had failed the last 3 IMF tests. In fact, they didn't even take the tests. Jamaica faced a significant trust deficit where our international partners simply didn't believe that we were capable of being responsible. When we inherited the economy in 2012 under the leadership of the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller as Prime Minister and Dr. Peter Phillips as Minister of Finance, we had to undertake significant work, heavy lifting to re-establish Jamaica's credibility with our international partners. What did we do? We enhanced and strengthened the fiscal rules, and we legislated, and I want to emphasize this, we legislated the debt to GDP projection so that we could get to 60% by 2028. And the reason I'm saying this, it is important to understand that whether it was a PMP, JLP, or NEP, it was a requirement for the government to follow the downward trajectory in our debt to GDP. So we were the ones who, having enhanced, ensured, took the country from the precipice. We are committed to continuing that responsibility. Now, questions have been asked about how will we fund these commitments. In the current fiscal policy paper, which is a document that accompanies the budget and it's tabled in March, the government's own projections for the next 3 years is that we will have an increase in government revenues of $140 billion over a 3-year period.
So, according to the fiscal papers, $140 billion will be accessible in the next 3-year period. So why would not ask how PMP go fund all that something them wanna do? Like you never know say the fiscal paper them there. I tell you the projections how much money I go be opened up to whoever is in government. Labor right is soon here.
And that is based on their projection of a growth rate of just 1%. But we intend
a growth rate of 1%. A growth rate of 1% to bring in that type of money there. Hold on. Wait. Go back. This is important. No. Wait.
Which is a document that accompanies the budget and it's tabled in March. The government's own projections for the next 3 years is that we will have an increase in government revenues of $140 billion.
We will have $140 billion with 1% growth. Then if they get 5% growth, how much money that? Let me calculate that. Hold on. $140 billion. Hold on. Wait. So if they grow the economy, they will have a lot more money. Significantly a lot. 140 billion. That's 9 zeros, not true? No. Yeah, 9 zeros because that's 6 to that. Yeah. 9 zeros. 140 billion times 5. But what is 7E11? What that? What is 7E11? What that? What 7E11? 14 times 5 what? 520. So 1 0 there, so. And then carry 2. We have to do the old time maths. And then it's a 5 times. Ooh! 700 billion? $700 billion? That means if the economy increased by 10%, growth by 10%, you look at $14 trillion. Yo, we have to grow the economy, people. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. We have to grow the economy. $14 trillion in a 3 year. You know what nice road and them something? We need to grow the economy.
Over a 3-year period. And that is based on their projection of a growth rate of just 1%. but we intend to grow the economy by more than 1%. But this 140 billion is their projection. And I want to go back a little in emphasizing our commitment to fiscal responsibility. We have no intention of imposing any new taxes to fund the commitments that we have made. So in addition to the organic revenue growth, which is based on the government's projections, the way our budget is structured, of the $1.3 trillion, there's an element for debt repayment, there's an element for wages and salaries, and then there's $360 billion, which is allocated to programs. Now, our programs and our priorities are different from the JLP's programs and priorities. And as such, we are going to place the things that we consider to be critical to improving the quality of life of all Jamaicans at the forefront of our priorities.
So $360 billion is what the People's National Party have to operate with. There are some plans that they're going to continue, and there's other plans that they're going to stop because they are going to run the country or them want to run the country. Is the country running good right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the key question. Are our hospitals equipped? You know what I mean? Is the hospitals equipped? The roads? So whatever they're doing, something is intrinsically wrong. Is either corruption is siphoning off the money and it's not being used in the right way, or them are overspend, or something. But the management and then the growth of the economy is barely 1%. So something has to change. You know, I don't know why they do this, because common sense tells you, if you do the same thing over and over again and expect to get a different result, it means that you're crazy. So it's like the JLP is saying, but you have to follow our way. No, because we don't do it one way already and it don't work, so why would we follow your way? That would be crazy. That would make the PMP crazy to follow your way. Them have to change something. Oh, if you go in a one battle, and every time I run going in a war, all of your troops them dead. You play one game, and all of your troops them dead in the war every time you do one certain thing. You have to continue to do that. Your troops them are go dead. Kevin, big up yourself. Engineered hardship. That is the key word right there, Kevin Johnson. All of this that is happening in Jamaica, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the lack of water, the farmers being sabotaged, in my opinion, the whole agricultural sector is being sabotaged because they have increased the importation bill, doubled it, and the production from the... Yo, did you guys remember the video with the farmer and the tomato them? The tomato them are waste, rotten. You didn't hear the plans Dr. Dayton Campbell had? Storage facilities, markets for items, strategically creating and have a listing of markets for farmers. So farmers don't say, here we go, and they know so we need Irish, they know so we need potato. And then the EASE program, where children will have I'm telling you, where children will have a real meal at school, and that those foods will be planted by the farmers. So the farmers are going to have a market for their products every month. I remember say school every week, say school break December for 3 weeks, you know what I mean? So for most of the year, the farmers are going to have a market to sell them yam, them banana, them dashi, them cocoa, whatever it is, pepper, sweet pepper, carrot, potato. You get what me I say? And then with the storage facilities, then when you have excess, the tomato could have make tomato paste. Like, brother, when we see tomato them are rotten in the video, I'm like, yo, what a waste, bro. Yo, them are going to pay for that, you know? Them are going to pay for sabotaging the farmers. They're going to pay dearly in this election. I'm telling you, they're going to pay dearly. And then people is not either. You know, you can't say anything on the mainstream media, but the reports locally is that if you're PMP, you don't get certain things from this government. In a lot of the areas them in Jamaica, them literally play political victimization. People have come out and said that. So all in all, it's just messed up, yo.
So between the organic revenue growth, between the existing envelope that exists in the budget, our commitments can be funded. Now, last night, our party leader and opposition...
Basically, more than enough money is there to fund them. What they want to do, the money is there. So stop asking how them are going to fund it. When you get it, good.
Leader made a commitment that we would raise the income tax threshold to $3.5 million. The Labour Party has proposed reducing the income tax rate from 25 to 15%. I want to indicate how our proposal is a more equitable one, a more just one, and one which impacts a broader cross-section of individuals. Why? Because it will put more money in the pockets of those who are earning less. And by doing so, those individuals have a higher propensity to consume. So some of those funds which will go into their pockets will be spent back into the economy, and the government will benefit through indirect taxes like GCT. So we expect that what we are proposing will in fact help and support the growth that we are projecting for the economy, while being consistent with our principles of equity, fairness, and justice. So to reiterate, we will fund the commitments that have been made within the existing envelope of the budget, including the projections for growth, without any need to impose any new taxes or burdens on the Jamaican people. In fact, we committed to removing the tax on overtime so that we could put more money in the pockets of those soldiers, policemen, security guards, people who work in our hospitality sector, again, so that it eases the cost of living and gives them an opportunity to spend more on themselves and their families.
Bruh. Everything he said, he broke it down phenomenally. Win, home run. You understand what I'm saying? We are going to have more money in our pockets. Do you think from my brother and somebody on live? Believe you? So yeah.
So I'll now turn over to Damien.
Yes, Damien.
Thank you very much, Julian. And as you have indicated, what we have indicated with our proposals up to last night and today is our commitment not to increasing taxes, but indeed to relief taxes. And it is more equitable, as that has been the central context of the People's National Party's proposals for the very longest time. As is indicated by our calculations, a teacher, for example, would only benefit from the Jamaica Labour Party's proposal to $80,000, while a person earning to the tune of $28 million, like the Prime Minister, will benefit $2.6 million.
I already broke that down. So I don't know how much teachers make. So teachers would save $80,000 because it's only 10%. Let me play that back so we can do the math.
Context of the People's National Party's proposals for the very longest time. As is indicated by our calculations, a teacher, for example, would only benefit from the Jamaica Labour Party's proposal to $80,000.
What you mean by they would only benefit to $80,000? Does not mean that they would save $80,000. Is that what that means? If that, I'm going to assume that that's what he means. So if they're only going to benefit $80,000, it means then that the 15% would be 120,000. So if you add the 120,000 to the 80,000, that would give you 15%, 25%, sorry, of what teachers make a year. So are you telling me that, wait a minute, that's not right. It cannot be. It cannot be. It truly cannot be. Thanks. It truly, stop man, we dip on the live and the man still, you see, you come in, take up that trim dog. See that, son. Right on my foot, right on my foot. Could I put it on the something right or something? Yeah, I want to kind of style, brother. Anyway, $80,000. So is it that they would save $80,000? Or $80,000 is what they would actually? It has to be they would save $80,000. But if that's the case, what does that mean? Is that $80,000 a month? How much teachers I make? Is there any teachers here that are working in Jamaica? How much teachers make a year? How much teachers make a year? That, let me see. Let me see if we can find that. No, oh no, block that, block that, block that. God have mercy. How do I unblock that? How much does teachers in Jamaica make per year? I'm trying to figure out that. How much do they make per year? Oh, a teacher in Jamaica approximately makes $1.9 million a year. Excuse me? No, I get it. No, I get it. Hold up. $1.9 million a year. That's why this affects the teachers. Man, yo, Marky is cold-blooded, bro. Marky G is cold-blooded. So teachers make an average of $158,000 a month in Jamaica, regular teachers. That's $158,000 a month. When you divide that by 4, oh, the teachers are, this is what they're taking out of their salary. This is what they're taking out of their salary every month. So with this move, the teachers will be keeping this in their salary. They'll be keeping this $39,000 in their salary. Damn. Oh, by the way, when you times that by 12, what do you get? 475,000. So 475,000. 475,000. Remember that number. 475,000. Let's go back. How do you go? Damn. How do you go to like? Here we go. History. That's what I want to do. History, right? All right. Boom. So this is the money that they would take from your tax currently. This would be 25%. All right. All right. What is that? $1.9 million a year. and then it will be 15%, right? So you divide this by 100 and then times by 15. Oh God. Times this by 15. So teachers would pay $285,000 in income tax for the year. When I minus that by 475,000, $190,000. $190,000. Let me go back to what David is saying.
Time, as is indicated, and not to increasing taxes, but indeed to relieve taxes. And it is more equitable, as that has been the central context of the People's National Party's proposals for the very longest time. As is indicated by our calculations, a teacher, for example, would only benefit from the Jamaica Labour Party's proposal to $80,000, while a person earning to the tune of $28 million, like the Prime Minister, will benefit $2.6 million. Therefore, this reduction from 25 to 15% would once again be disproportionately beneficial to persons like the Prime Minister, as versus in comparison to persons like teachers, policemen, nurses, security guards, and other persons employed under $3.5 million. It is important that we highlight to our teachers that under the People's National Party plan, over 80% of our teachers will pay no taxes and save up to $200,000 per year. That is an important...
Damn, come on, man. Who doesn't want to save $200,000 per year? Do you know what you could do with $200,000 in terms of investment?
And implication moving forward. Additionally, growth, as was indicated by the future Minister of Finance, Julian Robinson, and the future Prime Minister of Jamaica, the future Right Honorable Mark Jefferson Golding. Indeed, therefore, we have recognized that there are some individuals who are disposed towards encouraging, engaging, and promoting growth, but they have been faced with the albatross of government debt, high interest, and high taxes over time. To this extent, we have proposed the Clean Slate program to give these individuals a fresh start. In the Clean Slate program, not only the aspect of student loan, and leader, my grandmother told me that if what's the waiting would have done bees. They have taken a part of the student loan proposal that you have given 2 years ago and tried to suggest that that is of their own, and it's for reasons like the student loan proposal as well as the rent to own proposal that they have tried to adopt, to steal, that we decided to have a second component of the manifesto later on. Now, instead of just having the student loan where we'll forgive the interest rate, we will also put a moratorium on payment, giving you freedom to actually go forth and build your lives and come back to paying that loan. The proposal from the Jamaica Labour Party, like has been the case over the multiple years, you have no moratorium and will ask for you to find full payment before the interest is removed and before that aspect is forgiven. The People's National Party is giving automatic forgiveness of interest and fees and giving you a moratorium of up to 3 years for you to get your life in order and come back to do the payment. Additionally, we're looking at other types of debt to the government, including GCT, including income tax owed, including property tax owed. Those are areas that we are changing. But the taxmen out there would be happy to know that it also includes traffic tickets. And so we will give a moratorium of 3 years for you to get your life in order and come back to make your necessary payments to the government, having forgiven the albatross of interest and fees from around the necks of the people. We believe that this great clean off the slate, that this fresh start will allow for those persons inclined to productivity to then be able to once again access loans, and the persons like with student loan to be better able to get their mortgage instead, to better able to start their businesses, and to be better able to go back to schools in some cases to improve their skills. And so it is not just for the WASP to believe that there is a single forgiveness only for student loan, but a general reset of the society, a clean slate and a fresh start, so that persons can once again be a participant in our growth venture and be partners in the Jamaica Love program under the People's National Party. We turn over to Senator Daryl.
One day, man.
I was going to call on you to start up my mic for me.
Yes.
Because that's what you do. You lead. You lead as a servant leader, a leader who understands that sometimes they have to rescue members of their team.
Is it just me? Man, I don't know, man. I know she's married and everything, but are you telling me that you are a man that is on this earth, and you look at Donna Scott Motley and not think, man, I could see why her husband is happy. You know what I'm saying? Brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. At her age, come on, man, stop. She's a cutie, bro. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, no disrespect to you, Mrs. Donna Scott Motley. I have all due respect for you, ma'am. I'm telling you, you are a cutie. It's not easy to be cute at your age, but you're a cutie. This lady's a whole cutie, bro. Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro.
So good morning, everyone.
Man, hey, God has been gracefully aging this lady. Let me tell you right now, God got to be in your life for you to age disgracefully. I'm telling y'all right now.
We launched a manifesto. We made it clear that it was a manifesto wrapped in love.
Lord of mercy.
Very much like a constitution, which reflects the values, the attitudes, and the will of the people. And this morning, when we launch now the People's Guide, it is a guide which will be adhered to by the People's Cabinet. Always listening, always reflecting what the people want.
Stama.
I tell you all the time, those of you who know me, that Floyd Morris taught me the most important lesson, which guides the philosophy of the People's National Party. Nothing about us without us. And we are here simply to represent you, the people. So this plan was born from listening to Jamaicans, the tourism worker who was just getting tired of having to pay taxes on the tips.
Do you know what is key in what she said? These plans were born from listening to the Jamaican people. Listening, really listening.
The young creative who was searching for a start. The pensioner who was suffering because they had retired at what was a reasonable pension, but now it has been eroded by the cost of living, which is simply unbearable. They don't make enough to pay their electricity bills anymore.
Yo, I gotta get my life together, bro. If I live long enough, if this earth, doesn't end quick soon, and things are at a normal, I need to get my life together. Because it is not cool growing old, thinking you got a secure pension, but then the economy and the inflation eats away at all your ish. We need to have financial literacy classes in every single school. That is the single most important educational lesson that if you want to grow an economy, you need to make sure, Mr. Damian Crawford, sir, I'm sure you know this, but let me say, somebody clip this up. Are you ready? Who's screenshotting? Who's ready to screenshot? Mr. Damian Crawford, sir. Mr. Julian Robinson. Both of you guys are intertwined in this because one is education and one is finance and the economy. Okay. We need to make it mandatory that every child, as soon as we get over this reading problem in Jamaica, as soon as we fix that in our schools, As a matter of fact, just put it in there. We need, because children, everybody will learn money. If they teach it the right way, economic literacy needs to be a mandatory subject on all levels. Start it from basic school, fam. Get our kids, our children, actively involved in projects that push them into some type of business. Lemonade stand, creative, whatever. And you teach them economic literacy through that. Feel what me I deal with? Them need to make that mandatory in a school. Economic literacy. Big man thing. Jamaica need to go to the next level. Oh, the other thing, which you already know, technology. We are so behind. So I'll just say, big up Dr. Andre Horton. He understands. I know he's going to advocate. So I'm going to leave that alone. But yeah, economic literacy, because it's going to help pensioners dramatically to prepare for the possible shocks of economy. So they can understand, all right, boom, 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 boom. Investment is definitely necessary. And then versifying your investment, right? You know what I mean? Economic literacy needs to be something that everybody is taught in Jamaica in schools. From the basic school level, the primary school level, high school. Even if you go to Heart, we need to have statistics that show. So if you're going to be a chef at certain places in the world or in Jamaica, this is the average that you make. What is the current situation with the economy? Do essays on how you would best manage that. Challenge their minds. Prepare them. I think it would be dope. I think we need to get to that point.
So how we arranged it, and this is what I'm supposed to be really speaking to, is that everybody gets an answer to their question. And I want to share with you. Of course, you know I'm going to pick Clarendon first, right? So Rosalie from Lionel Town would want to know. She says, I want a house, but it feels impossible. Will I ever own land or a house? And later on, Stacy will explain to you how she will. Susie asks, how will I take home more money for my family? Kemar says, I am drowning in debt. How can I get a fresh start? And Damien has already spoken to people like Kemar, who need an opportunity to get a clean slate so that they can make a fresh start. These are the kinds of ways in which we have responded to people and which we commit we will always respond to people. So our constitution, our guide, is this document for the people. I will ask Stacey to elaborate on what has excited, obviously, the entire country, because the Jamaica Labour Party spent a considerable amount of time using it as though it was their own idea last night.
Thank you, Donna.
Shout out to Stacey Knight. She did an excellent job. Let's continue.
Morning, everyone. I'm going to be speaking to land, housing, and ownership.
Yes.
I need a roof over my head. The words of the Mighty Diamonds. Those words apply to every Jamaican. In fact, every human. But it's our responsibility to make sure that Jamaican people have access to suitable housing, land ownership.
Yo, you can imagine people there at the dance when home ownership start go up. I got a roof over my head. Them just remix the song, boy.
Equity and equality aren't the same thing. Equality means that you give same thing to everybody. But equity demands that those who need a boost have that boost available to them so that we can all have similar outcomes. The PNP's land...
Basically, equity gives you an opportunity. And if you make good of that opportunity, sky's the limit, baby.
And housing policies start with a foundation that looks at the purpose for which the NHT was initially created.
Yes.
We will ensure that the NHT is focused on its original purpose,
right,
and that the drawdown of $11.4 billion that takes place every year stops.
Cut it.
The PNP will also build 50,000 homes for low-income earners over the next 5 years. That's approximately 10,000 homes per year.
Hey.
And just to put that into context,
oh yeah, that's true.
The housing deficit right now stands at 190,000 units. So we are aware that the 50,000...
190,000 units is the deficit in terms of housing. Oh, we got a lot of work to do. But then again, when you look at corruption, it takes away from the productivity, yes? Man, I can't wait to clean up this country, bro. Listen, man. I'm excited for the youth. I'm excited for the elderly. I'm excited for the disabled. I'm excited for every single Jamaican. Where the plans of the PNP is concerned, I am truly excited for all of us. Because I'm telling you, I can see where this is going with all of these implementation. It is a beautiful piece of artwork. Will there be agents of the devil along the way that will try to put a monkey wrench into things? Obviously. That is why we have to put God at the center of all that we're doing. If we don't, then the country will truly not prosper. God has to be the center, the leader, on the side, on another side, over our head, under our foot, behind we. He needs to be the wind beneath our wings so we can soar to prosperity as a country and productivity. Yes? Who agree? If you agree, type agree.
Isn't the end of housing needs, but it's certainly far more than approximately 15,000 that have been over 9 years.
She fired shots at them. Damn.
The JLP had promised to build 70,000 homes in 2020, and they have failed to deliver on that promise. When we see, as Jamaicans say, one house being given out, that would take us hundreds of years to ever get to where we need to get to.
Exactly.
One of our policies is attractive, especially to people like Kedisha, my nail tech, who works in the informal sector and cannot necessarily qualify easily for a mortgage. But
can I say I love the way how they reference real people in their constituencies to show you how it applies? This was brilliant from the People's National Party.
Rent-to-own program will allow Kedisha to pay rent for 6 months, and the rent that she has paid will allow her to qualify, to prove her income qualifies her for the mortgage.
Come on, bro.
And part of that 6-month rental can go towards the deposit. But I'm going to speak now to Ashley, because if she's not doing the rent to own, how will she find the deposit? And so the Young Owners Deposit Fund, $1 billion per year, will be available for $500,000 for each young person up to age 45 years who is an NHT contributor. That will go towards their deposit. So deposit is usually hard to find. You'll get $500,000 boost on that. For
what?
Because as we said, equity demands that not everybody gets the same thing. And so persons with disabilities will benefit from reduced interest rates. And as a reward to our public sector workers, they too will benefit from reduced interest rates. And for the public sector workers, a 3-month grace period. So after they purchase a home, the first 3 months of the repayment of the mortgage, that will be waived, well, not waived, but that will be delayed to give them an opportunity to furnish their homes. Because when you buy a new home, your income really is stretched.
Hold on, the people. Give me a second. Let me make a call. People, I'm back. Thank you guys for waiting. All right, look up on yourself.
Before you can regularly make. Before you can regularly make. Those mortgage payments. So the PNP is really committed. We are committed as a party to ensuring that that roof over your head is available to every Jamaican.
Look on that car seat.
The debt service ratio will be increased to 40% so that persons can qualify for a mortgage on up to 40% of their disposable income, which will increase the number of people who will qualify for that mortgage. Those are some of the foundational issues. Now, a house can't be built just on a foundation, then you gotta have the walls, yeah? And our walls start with some unfinished business. Operation Pride, that the People's National Party administration, previous administration, some of it was left unfinished, and we are committed, the incoming administration, to complete that work.
Now, big up the People's National Party for, honoring their commitment. The Jamaica Labour Party did not do anything else for those people. And I really hope that the People's National, I hope that the Most High makes the right leadership win this election. I believe that right leadership is the People's National Party. And, that happens, these people will benefit from that completion, yes? Let's continue.
In addition, people who live on informal land settlements can't qualify easily to have a title. And a title gives you more than just having the house. It gives you security, financial security, and opens options for borrowing on your title. And so we will regularize informal land settlements. There are many of those in my constituency, so I know my constituents like Chris and Nisha will be happy to hear that. The Portia Initiative, it is the program for the organized renewal of and transformation of infrastructure in all areas. That initiative, named after our beloved leader, of course, that looks at improving infrastructure, renewal, and urban upgrading, things like sidewalks, parks. Yes. I don't like to call them green spaces, I prefer the word parks.
Parks, right.
Drainage, and such. And removal of zinc fences and replacing those with concrete walls. These things instill pride in our people. Also, for persons with disabilities, there will be a commitment that 20%, up to 20% of houses built by the Housing Association of Jamaica will be available to persons with disabilities.
So what does that number look like? 20% of 50,000. You divide 50,000, that's 500. 500, no, hold on. You divide 50,000 by 100, that's 500. So that's 1% of 50,000. Multiply that by 20. At least 10,000 houses, ladies and gentlemen, will be for the disabled in the plans of the People's National Party in regards to the NHT houses. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. They must have crunched their numbers. They have to understand how much disabled people is in Jamaica. They must have crunched their numbers. That's dope. I should have known the number, because it's 20% and it's 50,000, so it's obviously 10,000, right? Bro, I'm a long time I go to school and do maths and them something there. And we don't really, that's why I like doing these types of reactions, because it gets me back into I need to go back to school. I need to increase my education significantly so I can be more qualified, so I can earn more. You know what I'm saying? I have many talents, And like Andre said, we should not limit ourselves. Yes? And he's right. He's absolutely right. But for now, we'll continue. We're just asking God to guide our life in the right direction that, really benefits the Lord in real life.
And retirement homes, we will ensure that partnering with the churches, retirement homes are built for our senior citizens. And this will impact persons of all income levels.
Yes.
Because senior citizens require, need, and deserve the care from our state to ensure that they can live their lives in dignity.
Of course.
Whether the family members have deceased or moved abroad or just moved out, our senior citizens need companionship.
Mommy, you hear that? If you're listening, mommy, government, I look out for you. You hear that? Remember, good number.
One of the big announcements in the recent,
no, I'm not officer now. Mommy don't know what time it is. Mommy, you know what time it is. I'm not officer now.
budget presentations was the reduction in the time for adverse possession of government lands, and that is a firm commitment.
Whoa! What just happened a while ago? Damn. What the? Did this thing just die on me? Did I turn it off? Hold up, my people. Oh.
Bluetooth mode.
Yes. Thank you.
For adverse possession of government lands is a firm commitment. Currently, the time stands at 60 years, which is a little long. It's more than a generation, really, of lifetime. And so that will be reduced to 25 years. Now, this is for government lands, so we're not giving away anybody's land, right? The laws on adverse possession remain the same for privately owned lands, which means that people need to continue to protect their titles by fencing your properties and making sure that you don't allow people to possess it if you don't want them to.
No, you remember when the JLP said that the People's National Party would be increasing lawlessness because they would be moving it from 60 to 25? She just debunked all of that a while ago, She told the private homeowners, listen, it does not apply. This is about government lands. And you have to ensure that you protect your property as everyone else.
Basically, the People's National Party's commitment to home ownership and putting that roof over people's head means that we are continuing our long legacy of building houses for people. Many, in fact, the majority of the housing developments right across Jamaica were built by the People's National Party. And I want to just end the myth that says anything otherwise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like and share the video, ladies and gentlemen, please, and thanks. Shout out to the 181 that's here chilling with your boy. You know what I'm saying? We going and we breaking it down, you know what I'm saying? We giving our commentary. And I appreciate y'all appreciating me, man. Let's get it.
Comrade Stacy, just to clear up something that I heard last night.
Thank you, please.
I heard the outgoing Prime Minister of Jamaica making reference to the fact that the rent-to-own policy is something that he spoke about before. He went further to suggest that we are saying that you can just rent anybody's home and then own it. It is a lie. He went further to suggest that we are saying that you can just rent anybody's home and then own it. It is a lie.
So, Andrew Onis, you allegedly suggested that it's regular people house, the PMP, I tell you, say, them can go rent to own the people them house. What? And people actually believed you? That insertion? That not insertion, that assertion? People actually believed you? Nobody can answer dance. People actually believe, say, the People's National Party was talking about people's house, private homeowners that own them own property, where rent it. That they are going to put a law in place where they can pay their rent for 6 months and then start to pay mortgage. Under which law would that be established? Huh? What? No, please tell me he didn't say that, bro. Come on, man.
It is in keeping with his character, so I'm not surprised, but it is a lie. We have.
Listen, y'all gotta give the Prime Minister some slack, bro. I'm telling y'all, I literally believe that he has dementia. I am at the point now where I'm feeling sorry for him because there's no way that he is lying like this. Him after not he's forgetting things. And so when him come on, he must say things when it make no sense and it seem like it's a lie, but in a fiend mind, there's missing pieces. There's missing pieces. The man cannot just be lying like this, Rose. Rose, the man cannot just be lying like this. He cannot be deceiving the people like this. I believe he has dementia. I believe he's not well. And I believe he needs to be evaluated. And I'm not being funny. I am serious. I am concerned about the outgoing Prime Minister of Jamaica. I am very concerned. And I've been saying it. I don't know if you guys are really listening to me, but I've been saying it. Something is wrong. The man cannot just be telling lies like this, bro. It's not possible. It cannot be that the man is saying that he really believed that that's what the PMP was saying. And the PMP has been so clear about it. It's about the NHT houses. It's about the NHT houses. They went as far as to say, for the young people, you have to have at least been paying 2 years contribution to NHT to qualify to get that $500,000 grant to pay down on your house that we built, or a house of your choice. But you have to pay the grant, the money for the year, right? Come on, man. No, he cannot, bro. No.
I've never said that.
No.
What we've said is that we will build 50,000 houses, and that when we build those, at least 500 per constituency, that if persons who are working in the informal sector who don't have a pay stub,
yes,
that they can move into that house.
Yes.
And once they show us after 6 months that they can pay the rent, which is equivalent to the mortgage,
yes,
and shows that they're reliable, then we will convert it from rent to a mortgage. And I would suggest to Mr. Holness to pay a little attention to details. I know it's not your strength, but pay a little attention to details and do not mislead the public.
Shots fired. Bombs dropped. Hiroshima, nuclear. No, you know, I like this side of Dr. Dayton Campbell. I think Cliff Hughes went about it the wrong way. Cliff Hughes should have said to Dr. Campbell, you know, Dr. Campbell, I know you have the capacity to really be a deadly speaker, you know, and I think you should use the calmer tone more because you're very intelligent. Don't get me wrong. When you raise your voice and you get animated and passionate, there's a certain demographic that you speak to. But I'm telling you, when you speak the way you just spoke a while ago and broke down the Prime Minister's character, you took it to another level. And I think you should go to that level a lot more. Give us the other version sometimes, you know. But this side of you, we need to see a lot more of it. Cliff Hughes, trust me, if you had brought about it that way, the People's National Party would be with you, bro. If you, instead of telling the man that you want somebody to box him in his face and he makes you cringe, no, that was not the method. Cliff Hughes, I hope you learned something if you're watching, all right? See what I did there? I bet you Mr. Dayton Campbell would be more receptive to what I just said, more than the box in the face business. Just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
I'm going to ask Senator Crawford to come back in and he will speak to some of the partnerships.
Thank you, future Minister Dayton Campbell. I've always warned you about applying malice when there's possible logic. I'm not sure if the Prime Minister is lying. He might just not understand what we had proposed. And
this is not fair. This is not fair. The way how the PMP is passing the baton to the next speaker is surgical. This is not fair. You know, I want you to look at look at Julian Robinson's face. I want you to focus on Julian Robinson's. Let me play that back.
I'm not sure if the Prime Minister is lying. He might just not understand what we had proposed. And because he doesn't understand it, the Prime Minister is lying. He might just not understand what we had proposed.
Yo, Julian Robinson's cold, bro. Yo, he got ice in his veins, bro. Nah. Julian Robinson got ice in his veins. Yo, he just looked down like, yo, man, damn, dog, Damien, you ain't got to do him like that. Yo, Julian Crawford is like, yo, Damien, you ain't got to do him like that, dog. Damn.
And because
he got a smile on his face, and then he laughed, and he laughed like this, huh? Lord of mercy.
He doesn't understand it. He might not be able to cross it after the 3rd of September. We must also indicate that there are persons such as policemen, teachers, and others within our society that have been stuck in the albatross of paying rent, incapable to save enough for them to eventually move towards a mortgage. And the rent to own therefore also help those individuals who are now paying $100,000, $200,000 rent and therefore rendered incapable.
No, that reminds me, Andrew, I don't know if I addressed this earlier. But you know, you said that the rent-to-own initiative was the most logical way to really solve the issue of home ownership in Jamaica. Andrew, that is the most profound, the most truthful statement you have made. And what you have done by making that statement is that you have conceded defeat. You have conceded that the People's National Party is the right government to manage this country because they have come up with a plan that is the most practical plan to increase home ownership in Jamaica. It's not your plan. It's well documented. So when you say that it's the most practical plan to solve home ownership problem in Jamaica, what you have done is conceded the election on September 3rd. People put the X beside the head because the People's National Party has the most practical plan to increase home ownership. Not only home ownership, but also land ownership. Yes? All right.
It applies to young individuals wanting to move out of their parents' home, but also rural individuals who have migrated to Kingston and have no other option than paying rent. I've known persons with incomes of teachers up to $250,000, with a rent of $110,000, groceries of $60,000, a car payment of $30,000, and it's incapable even to buy stuff to send something for their mom when they're the first in their family to make it.
You know what is bad? When you are making decent money, but because of the cost of living, you can't see your way through. Then you have to look at how does the people that are not making decent money actually get by? Something is lacking in their life. Probably they are homeless. Probably them a catch. It should be interesting to note what is the homelessness rate in Jamaica. How much people in Jamaica is homeless? What are the age groups? I think we need to do a consensus because these problems need to be fixed. I'm sorry. It's not cool to not have an option to go home into a warm bed. It is not cool. Old, young, middle-aged, I do not care. It is not cool to not have the option. If you want to go out and you want party, you want all this and you're out till the morning, fine. But the option for persons that really want to go to bed because tomorrow they have to go work, it is not cool for them not to have that option. And if they don't have the option to go to bed, I'm wondering if they even have a job. And that is more not cool. How do they eat? They don't have any shelter. and they don't have a job. How do they eat? Now they're being taken advantage of. Now they're in a compromising position in the streets with all types of elements. And you wonder why so much people are missing and so much kids are missing. Give thanks to the people that are found. Like that's maybe 1 or 2% out of the 100% of people that has been missing. And there needs to be a press conference for missing people, you know. They can build a shopping center. They can sleep, but up and out early in the morning. I don't even know what you're saying there. Look like you're tired, Rose. Big up yourself later.
Still in high school. The People's National Party is relieving that burden to give you that opportunity to move forward in short order. However, as has been given our indicators, we so much want our people to consume the ideas, to consume the plans, and to recognize this march on to progress, that we have simplified the document to a point that you can find your space and how it impacts you directly, even outside of how it can impact you in generality. And so one of those areas we want to speak to is the security forces, and this is our way of thanking those expo.
Now, when you've got to listen to Damon Crawford, I don't know him can talk. I teach her, you know it go. I mean, I fast forward it to Damon Crawford. Damon Crawford, Dr. Dayton Kennedy.
Thank you very much, Senator Crawford. The full document will be released later today, so persons who are interested will be able to view the sector that they have the interest in. We have several other love partners, including faith-based organization. We believe that the church plays a critical role in the ordering of the society, to be peaceful, to have proper values and morals, and as such we are supportive of the faith-based organization, and a fund will be put in place that they can use to do their activities.
Mr. Wagwan Tropical Noma TV, Mr. Major Prophet Mark Stewart, I would love to hear your views on this particular policy by the People's National Party. You don't need to say anything now. I would love to hear about it after the elections. But if you want to say something, no, that's fine. But I don't think you would want to say anything because you don't want to be seen biased, you know. And maybe it's not on your agenda to say. But I personally, sir, would love to hear how you feel about the initiative from the government to help the faith-based organizations with certain charity programs that they have. Big up yourself, Tropical Noma TV, right? I would love to hear from Mark Stewart about that. Prophet, the major Prophet Mark Stewart, respectfully, I would love to hear from you, sir, about that. You understand? Somebody that watches you or, you know, might be listening. Ask the Prophet if he's okay with, talking and expounding on the plans that the government is. It because you see, he has a unique perspective in terms of how the church interacts with leadership, you know. And I would love to hear his perspective on this, me personally. And I think other people would, like why I have raised the question. I would love to hear it. But let's continue.
Story has been told that everything is well in Jamaica by the other side. As you go there and you interact with people, you get the different side to the coin, the next side to the coin, that much more can be done. People are hopeful. They're looking forward to a better quality of life, and that is what we're offering them here today. We're going to take a few questions, if there are any. I know it was pellucid, so there may not be any wrap-up.
It was pellucid, quite clear. That's what that means.
Laverne, yes.
Yes, side, as soon as they take office. Usually, the campaign trail. Yes, very often, the party in opposition makes pledges on the campaign trail that fall by the wayside as soon as they take office. Usually, the reason is that they did not have a full or a very clear picture of the country's prevailing economic situation. my question is, why should Jamaicans not dismiss this proposal to raise the income tax threshold as another political ploy? That's one. Two, if the People's National Party is victorious in the general election, how soon after will this policy be implemented? If you could give some specifics. And then finally, also, if you could list the top 3 priority policy proposals of all the proposals that you have made, if you could say to the people of Jamaica what you consider to be the top 3 and to give specific implementation dates for those 3 policies that you have selected. Those are my questions.
Well, on the priorities, on the last one, I would just say that different proposals fall into different categories. So, for example, the proposal to empower people to own land who have been occupying land for 25 years but are not in a position to acquire title to it because the law implemented in the colonial era requires 60 years of possession. We intend to deal with that as a legislative priority. Similarly, some of the reforms around greater accountability in government that we are committed to, we will be looking to implement those as well through developing and bringing the legislation to Parliament. On the other hand, there are programmatic things like the subsidy for school feeding, which we call the EASE program. That's a vital thing for us. There is the RIDE program, which is a subsidy for children who are struggling to attend school 5 days a week, where we're providing a transportation subsidy for up to 20,000 people. And of course, the First in Family Scholarship Program, which we are committed to ensuring that the first person in the household, if they are the first ones to have applied to and qualified or are attending university or college, they can get a full scholarship. So those things which are programmatic and require expenditure, those would be 3 priorities for us. But I think you have to differentiate between those things which are priorities because they involve reforms which don't necessarily involve expenditure changes, and those which are of a programmatic nature which will require expenditure changes. And I've outlined.
So what he's saying is that the programmatic things require funding, and then the legislative things don't require funding. I hope you guys understand that, all right?
For you, what I regard as our priorities. In terms of the first question, which is the propensity of oppositions to promise things which cannot be delivered. One thing I would say to you is that because of the reforms that were implemented when we were last in government to bring greater transparency to the public financial affairs of the country, the information available to the opposition is better than it has been in years gone by. So, for example, the fiscal policy paper, which is tabled as one of the budget documents, and there's also an interim one that's tabled in September each year because some of the numbers that in March are not final numbers for the previous year's budget. So a supplementary one, an interim one, is published in September each year, is full of very critical information on the economy and on the public finances, including projections as to future revenues, but also a vast array of other things. Similarly, there's information on tax expenditures, which are a technical word meaning waivers and other discretionary relief of taxes and the cost of that to the public purse, and the medium-term debt management strategy of the government, which looks forward and says, what are we going to do to manage our debt as best we can? So those are all mandatory documents that have to be tabled with the budget each year, and in September in the case of the interim fiscal policy paper. So that enables an opposition to have a fairly good idea of what is possible fiscally in terms of what we can do.
Now, what Mark Golden is saying is that the fiscal documents gives them the intel that they need to understand what they can actually do, what type of situation is going to be economically. Previous years, they were walking into being the new government blind. They are not so blind now. So they have an idea of what is actually going on in terms of where we are at in very fine detail, which is very important, I believe, and something that needs to be continued and elevated so they can have more clarity. He also mentioned that there is a interim, which is September 3rd is the actual election. So they will get after winning the election, the People's National Party, they will get those interim numbers, and I think there's going to be a lot of audits done. So between the audits and the interim numbers, they'll be able to say to you definitively in terms of timeline and funding what exactly they'll be able to do, and how, at what point in time they'll be able to do it. I think Julian Robinson undersold it just to be safe, that April 1st of next year would really be when the People's National Party can implement a lot more of their ideas in full throttle. What Mark Golden is saying is that in terms of legislation, those can be done more quickly. And this is why I want you guys to go out and vote early. And I want you guys to go out and vote in your numbers. Because the more seats the People's National Party win, is the faster they can get legislation passed in Parliament. We don't need a close election. We need a blowout. 63 seats preferably. Yes, but let's see what God does. Right? So that's what we need.
That we know that when we come into government, there will be many things that were not disclosed publicly and which we will have to deal with. That is the reality of when there's a change of government. And we know, for example, that right now there are unsettled claims from the public sector workers which have to be addressed. They've been offered 0%. Which is not really an offer at all. And there are various anomalies in the public sector transformation of their compensation, which we are committed to working with the public sector unions and the representatives of the public sector workers to resolving those anomalies. But there may be many other things that we are not fully aware with, claims from contractors in respect of things that have gone wrong on projects and so on. There are a number of things that we would not be privy to and which we would have to.
That is very significant. Claims from contractors of monies that were not paid. Significant.
Just when we form government. But the overall lay of the land, we have a much better picture, I would say, that would have been the case, say, 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Julian, if you want to talk to you can answer the other question he had about the timing of our implementation.
Yeah, well, we're currently in the middle of a budget year, and I would say the new fiscal year would start April 1st, and so the commitments that have been made would commence certainly in relation to the tax threshold at that time. We may make adjustments, and we may have to do supplementary budgets in terms of how you move expenditures within the current band, as has been done in the past. So if you're moving monies from one ministry to another, you're required to do a supplementary budget. So that, again, is a decision that we would make once we get in. But that is a possibility because, as I've said, our priorities and the programs are certainly different from what exists with the current government.
I wanted to add one point, which I think is very important, because a false impression has been deliberately sowed by the government that we will discontinue all existing government programs and policies. That's absolute nonsense. We recognize that in the $360 billion envelope for programs, there's a vast array of programs. Some of them are long-standing and fundamental, such as the PATH program, which was started by the People's National Party and provide support for vulnerable children and vulnerable citizens. And we would never do anything to reduce that. In fact, to the contrary, we're trying to bolster that by some of the other areas which need similar support, such as the Ease and the Ride programs that we've come up with. On the other hand, there are many other programs which represent a decision of the government of the day to pursue a particular policy initiative, which we may defer, for example, if we don't anticipate that it would have a negative impact on the quality of life of the Jamaican people. We will not be doing anything that would have a negative impact on the quality of life of the Jamaican people. So we will be working within the envelope of the budget, but we will be adjusting those things that we don't think need to be brought forward so we can bring forward the things that we think are essential for making life better for the people of Jamaica at this time.
So it's all about style of governance, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, in terms of certain programs that the PNP will just not do anymore and put the money into other areas. And that's what every government does. So when Fayval Williams tries to say to people like, yo, listen, this is the way how it's done, and if they don't do it this way, it means that they're economically irresponsible. It's rubbish. It's literally rubbish. Because if the way how they have been doing things and the results that we're getting is what it is, it means that there needs to be a change in it. The health sector, the education, they have found it very difficult to pay people on time. The teachers, the nurses, the policemen. That means something is not being done right. You know what it is, ladies and gentlemen? Corruption. That is what it is. Corruption has catch up on this government, this administration. When you are corrupt and you siphon off money from different areas, at some point it's going to show. It's going to show in the quality of operation. It's going to show in the quality of life. You are going to be exposed at some point. And it's been 9 years. A lot of things they have tried to PR, but it's not working. The PR is not working anymore. You get me? That it is what it is, man.
We should also remind the public that issues like the drill have indicated that the Jamaica Labour Party is engaged in general overspending and over-invoicing. Cornwall Regional will be an excellent example that has moved from 2 to 22 billion. We have no intention to be so wasteful in government as they were. And so we will seek those wastes and ensure that it is properly directed to the people.
Yeah. Yo, listen, man. Damian Crawford was so sharp, bro. Oh, my God. That needed to be said. That drill, those buses, those buses that they bought for the kids, that drill, oh my God. Yo, I don't even want to imagine how much things is like at a point where we have to be seriously concerned and like to do an audit and find out like, yo, where did these monies go? Because what you said you bought it for, the value you said the stamps are for, is very questionable. $2 billion projection for Cornwall Regional Hospital. And then look where we're at right now. Over $24 billion. That is crazy. That's wild. Something is intrinsically wrong with that picture. It's too much. The comparison in the estimate of what it would cost has gone way over. 2 billion, all right. So if you estimated 2 billion, all right, if it reached 5 billion, it would have bad, and not so bad. But $24 billion estimate after all of that? Nah, bro. You can't tell me something ain't wrong with that. You can't tell me that you don't smell the salt of corruption in that entity, in that whole operation. Ain't no way.
Absolutely, that's a critical point. Public resources are being wasted in large amounts by this government through corruption, through distortions in the procurement system, and through the inefficient and negligent management of major projects. The Cornwall Regional is an example of that, where a project which was originally to be finished within a short space of time and for $2 billion expenditure has now gone over 20 billion. I think it's 24 billion is the nearest number, with no accountability for that delay, and with the hospital still not open to receive patients in terms of the refurbished parts of it. Similarly, the drill, which is just symptomatic of what is going on in that ministry. I'm sure if we go in there, we're going to find many other things, where things which are available in the marketplace for one price are being bought by the government from contractors in which members close to the government have financial interests for multiples of the market price, depriving the people of Jamaica of resources for critical things. In the health sector, it's CAT scan. There's no CAT scan machine at Bustamante Children's Hospital, the main largest children's hospital in the Caribbean. And it is that type of scandalous behavior which is ripping off the people of Jamaica and making our lives much harder than they should be. And I just want to make one additional point, if I may, on this tax proposal that they have come up with. Now, if you reduce the income tax rate from 25 to 15, it means that somebody who's earning $30 to $40 million of income and who's paying $10 million of tax is going to end up paying $4 million less tax that the people of Jamaica need to fund the programs to support the society. Our program, and our proposal, which is to increase the threshold, means that the people who need it most, everyone will benefit who pays income tax now, including the man earning 30 to 40 million. But his benefit or her benefit will be no greater than the benefit that the teacher, that the benefit that the police officer, that the benefit that the nurse is getting, which is 100% relief on their first $3.5 million of income.
The people, I said it before, the people that are making $30 million a year. You see the first 3.5 million, no income tax now take from it. That is their free money. And for the persons that are under 3.5 million, you need to get to $3.5 million in earning. And don't worry, your journey there, you won't be paying any income tax. It's a win-win for everybody, bro. You can't go around the bombard thing, brother. It's shot.
And that is why it's a more progressive,
it's shot, bro. It's shot.
Just and fair solution than what they are offering, where ministers of government, prime ministers and others will get a huge tax break by their policy and their proposal, which our proposal will not do. Our proposal is equitable and ensures that those who need it most are the ones who get the benefit.
Thank you, Leader. And just to note that if somebody's at 3.5 million, the actual increase in take home would be $35,000 per month. Now, you would actually be able to buy a proper vehicle and not the $2,000 for a Pro Box.
Yo, bro, I like this type. Yo, listen, I like this version of Dr. Dayton Campbell. Oh, he is a smooth operator. You thought I was going to say criminal, right? No. We can't address criminal to his name. He is a smooth operator. The way how he destroyed Fayval Williams a while ago with her Pro Box and $2,000 a month and one bag of something. How about $35,000 a month? No comparison. You can definitely buy the car of your dreams. If that's what you want to do with the $35,000 that you will be now accessing with a $3.5 million threshold increase. Talk to me nice.
With your permission, I want to address a question which has been asked and which has been very concerning to me. And that is why does the PNP talk so much about corruption? There are people who feel that we shouldn't be speaking about it. And that bothers me because that means that it has been normalized more and more in our society. I want to remind you that it was Metri Siaga, who is now the president of the PSOJ, who said in 2019 that corruption actually cost us 5% of GDP. He said it cost us over 735 million US annually. And if we deal with issues like that, these programs which we speak about, they are self-funding. So when we are
735 million US dollars is robbed from our GDP because of corruption in 2019 and every year since then. Got to be more careful.
Talking about corruption, we are not only saying that a leader leads the country's moral compass, sets the value and the tone for every member of the society, but that in actual real terms, 5% of GDP is a significant amount which we can put to programs which can grow our economy and, more importantly, grow our people who will then be contributing to growing our economy.
It's a win-win situation. More money in people's pockets, more money circulating in the economy. The more the economy grows, and more taxes are there so you can fix the road them, make sure the equipment in the hospital, if the money is managed properly. That's why you have to stamp out corruption. Because if the economy was at 70, no, let me not go so far. If the economy was at $20 trillion, you see, because of corruption, you would not feel the effect of $20 trillion. You would probably feel 7 trillion, 7 to $10 trillion. Half of that money would be siphoned off into corruption. And then you wonder why we are in the position we're in. That is the reason. The siphoning off of money, the friend, the links business. I hear what you said about normalizing corruption. Jamaicans, we have normalized corruption. And that's why the country is in the state that we're in. A lot of you don't have any problem with the Jonas of 28 bank account, allegedly. A lot of you don't have a problem with him hustling, allegedly. You don't have a problem with it because if you guys were in the position that he was, you probably would do the same thing. So when you say when people stand up for morals and ethics and what is right, and they say, "Somebody leave him alone, man," go on like say, "Oh, and the one of them are the same thing," and you don't understand that stance that you take erodes the growth of the country. That stance that you take, normalizing corruption, is destroying this country. You get me? Whether you don't feel it yet or not, at some point your ass is going to feel it. So get in line with, destroying and, ripping out corruption out of the society, because that is exactly what we need to do.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? If not, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here.
Big up Donna Scott Motley. Big up the whole team. I'm glad I had an opportunity to do this. And I'm glad I had the audience here, because I think, even the persons that watch this replay, you can't say you left here and there was no substance. I think you would be lying. I think you would be lying if you left here and said, I didn't learn anything on Bolo live stream that lasted 3 hours. I think you would be lying. I think we covered a lot. So again, I want to thank you for those that went through all the way, and for those that just got in bed. I know it's late. It's actually 2:20. I can't believe. But this is the season. Tomorrow morning, early. It's what time is the debate? No, it's in the evening. But tomorrow morning, there's something else that I need to address, because a lot of things are just popping up. All right? But bless you. For those that are still here, please just hit the like button before you exit. Big up with yourself. I'm out.